Hello everyone, Ryan here. Goosebumps, Slappy World. They call me the Night Howler by R.L. Stine. It's a terrible read. No. Of course, Slappy World, this is like another offshoot of the Goosebumps series. Main difference being that there's different sections in which Slappy the dummy actually kind of like interjects, and actually for me it kind of reminds me of of course I'm aware this might be a outdated reference for a lot of people, maybe not, but the Crypt Keeper, I don't know, from Tales from the Crypt. Is it Tales from the Crypt or Tales of the Crypt? I forget exactly. That's pretty much what it reminds me of, because it's like after a certain amount of chapters, then the next page it'll say like, you know, something like, "Hello kids, Slappy here," you know, and he'll say like some like somewhat witty remarks, and you know, just kind of like laugh, haha. And so yeah, that's if you're familiar with the Crypt Keeper, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. And if not, then definitely Google the Crypt. So yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So anyways, in this book, main character is Mason Brady, and he's pretty much obsessed with everything and anything to do with superheroes. Of course, his favorite superhero is called Night Howler, or the Night Howler. I forget if it's the Night Howler or just Night Howler. Anyways, Night Howler. And he actually meets the actual Night Howler because one day he goes to this museum. It's a museum that I guess pretty much has all this stuff, all this information about a lot of superheroes and a lot of stuff to do with comic books and also supervillains. And he actually meets the actual Night Howler, and then the Night Howler tells him that he's ready to retire because he's tired of being a superhero, and like nobody really thanks him or appreciates him, or well, I guess they kind of appreciate him because he helps to stop a lot of bad guys, but you know, he never like really receives any face-to-face recognition or anything like that, because one of the things is, and I mean, I wouldn't consider this a spoiler, but you know, if he were to like actually reveal his identity, then he would lose his powers. So, of course, like the majority of his powers come from the suit that he wears. It's like some kind of magic suit. But anyway, so he decides to retire, and then of course, he tells all this to Mason, and then he asks Mason if he wants to take over, become the new Night Howler, which Mason, you know, pretty much right away accepts. And even though he's worried that, you know, because he doesn't have any experience being the Night Howler, and but of course, you know, the original Night Howler, well, I guess technically the original Night Howler is not the original Night Howler, because he got the suit from another Night Howler, or some other guy that was the Night Howler before, and I guess it's one of those things that gets passed on to different people, or rather whoever wants to take up the mantle of Night Howler. Yeah, something like that. So anyways, Mason accepts, and of course, he, again, like I said, he's unsure as exactly how, if he's going to be a good night howler or not, and so he doesn't really figure out how everything works until he goes face to face against his first villain, and which I believe is this. Another thing too is a lot the villains in this, they have weird names. Some of them are just weird names, and then others are like kind of funny names. The first villain he faces off against, doesn't even really face off against him, because some villain called the Quitter, and so it's like a villain who he easily quits, he easily gives up, especially when he's confronted by the Night Howler. So, yeah, when Mason, that's the first villain that, Mason takes on or confronts as the Night Howler. And it was pretty much a piece of cake, because, the guy's called the Quitter. As soon as Mason confronts him as a Night Howler, then the Quitter just pretty much says, I quit, I give up. And so it's definitely easy. Although eventually he does actually face off against much stronger villains, and of course, I don't want to give away too much, but pretty much, there's no really nothing scary about this story. And in some ways, it reminded me of one of the classic Goosebumps books, one of the original Goosebumps books, which is titled, I believe it's Revenge of the Mutant, if I'm not mistaken. Except in that one, that was more about, well, pretty similar. It was, about another kid obsessed with comic books, superheroes, and whatnot. And though I believe in that one, he meets some supervillain. So, and of course, in this one, Mason, he does eventually confront this guy who's supposed to be the ultimate supervillain. Some guy goes by the name of Dr. Maniac. And he does prove to be pretty cunning, and I guess you'd say somewhat powerful. Though it's not really revealed exactly how powerful Dr. Maniac is. But yeah, it's and then of course there is kind of a twist ending, but not really. It was another one of those endings that I saw coming. But overall, it still kind of gave me at least somewhat of a nostalgic vibe, and so yeah. And I'm not really sure what else I could say about it, other than, I enjoyed it simply because it has a lot to do with superheroes and supervillains and that whole thing, and it even very briefly touches upon how pretty much how superheroes, superheroes in general, how I guess most times they feel underappreciated, if appreciated at all, and I guess having to do because of the whole having to keep their actual identity secret and whatnot, and so, which I found kind of interesting. So, but it very, 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 very briefly touches on that, and I didn't really expect anything in depth or whatnot. So, yeah, and of course overall it's it's a fast, easy read. again, I enjoy it. Again, gave me those nostalgic vibes, and so overall, I guess I would say bare minimum, I give it 3.5 stars. But the most, just 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars at the most. So, yeah, that does it for my review of this book. Trying to remember if there was something else I wanted to say about it. And I don't really think so. I'll probably remember it after I post this. But anyways, that'll do it once again. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, next time, don't forget, keep it real. Keep on rocking, and peace.